Welcome to Live with NORML. I'm Pedini, the Development Director here at the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. Welcome to the first show of 2026, friends. It's Friday, January 9th, and we're going to talk about this week's cannabis policy and science news. Hey, take a quick second and drop a note in the comments. Let me know where you are, where you're watching from, and let me know if you have any burning questions. That's what we're here to answer. Take a second, hit that like, follow, or subscribe button wherever you're watching so you never miss when NORML goes live. I'm going to hop in the comments now and see what you all have to say and where you are. Let's see. Hey, Knuckles81 in Eastern Pennsylvania. Happy 2026 to you. Hey, Mouse in Minneapolis. Good to see you back. Hi, person on the internet whose name is too small for me to see right now. Nick, thank you, Nick. Hey, Nick, good to see you. Hey, hey, Hippie in Poconos. Hey, JP in Virginia. CB in Atlanta. Solo in New York. Welcome back, Rastaman in Lehigh Valley. Good to see everyone. Hey, to the people in Virginia that just joined as well. Mississippi. Well, we got a lot. We got a lot of states here. See if we get some different countries as well. That happens sometimes. Hope everyone's enjoying their 2026. We've got a lot to get into. Dennis starting us off right, burning questions wise. Someone's a comedian. Dennis says, "Hey JM, anything new to bring in the new year with North Carolina?" LOL. LOL indeed, my friend. You know what the answer is. But also, I'm going to open up that ACT page. Everyone also take a quick second to say hi to Toby. Toby is one of our interns at NORML, and he's going to help produce the show. Thank you. Hey, Toby, why don't you open that Take Action page as well on your end so that you can follow along with me as I play. Let's guess what's going on in this state. And so to your real question, Dennis, is what's going on in North Carolina? And in North Carolina, we do still have those two bills that carried over from last year. We've got the Marijuana Legalization and Reinvestment Act, which is H413 in North Carolina. The last date of action on that bill was March 18th, 2025. It's marked as in committee. And then the same for H1011, the North Carolina Compassionate Care Act. The last date of action on that was April 16th, 2025. And it also just still says in committee. So no, Dennis, nothing new, but we still have the same stuff that we talked about last year. Oh, some cat. Hey, some cat. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you knew that I was talking to you. Hey, OG Grandma. Happy New Year to you as well. Hey, Patrick. Toby Patrick says hello, specifically to you. I love that. Hey, Miss CBD in France. Thanks for joining us. I knew somebody from another country would be here eventually. Oh, OG Grandma, you don't have to give up hope. I am here, but it took a few extra minutes to get the show started because we had to discuss some chapter-related social media concerns just before the show. All right. Oh, listen, Nick. You know, about Nick says nothing from Pennsylvania yet, too early. And like, yes and no, we have 10 bills on our tracker right now for Pennsylvania. I mean, it looks like, I'm scrolling through them real quick right now to see if there's any newer bills or if these are just all 2025. bills. But I did notice earlier today that Pennsylvania had the most. Yeah, so it looks like these are all still carryovers, but there's 10. So if you look at the map, it looks like Pennsylvania's got a lot going on. Hey, Richard, Happy New Year to you. Hey, Cyprus, Happy New Year. Yes. All right, Jaggers, thank you for bringing that up. Let's go ahead and talk about, since you all are asking about what's going on policy-wise at the state level. Let me tell you something, friends. I updated NORML Election Central this week. I'm just going to drop a quick link in the chat for you. And if you're watching on Instagram, it's normal.org/election. There are a number of efforts underway. So yes, Idaho is collecting signatures for a medical cannabis ballot initiative. Kind Idaho is doing this. And there was also a decrim effort, and it seems like all of the focus has shifted to this medical cannabis initiative in Idaho. I am going to add that to Election Central. I haven't yet, because this week I prioritized getting the repeal efforts in front of everyone. I want to make sure you all know that in multiple states, either prohibitionist organizations, well-funded prohibitionist organizations, or your lawmakers themselves are coming for your cannabis freedom. And Idaho's right there at the top of that list. Alphabetically, though, I'm going to start with Arizona. But thank you, Jagger, for setting this one off with me. Arizona's ballot initiative to repeal legalization is called, are you ready? All of these names are ridiculous. Sensible Marijuana Policy Act for Arizona. Apparently, someone who's not you thinks that taking away your freedom is the most sensible thing to do. Anyhow, you can read the full text of that. It hasn't qualified for the ballot, but they were approved to start collecting signatures on December 17th. And this initiative would repeal the majority of laws and regulations enacted by Prop 207 in Arizona, which legalized possession and use. Over 60% of voters approved Prop 207 in 2020. And now there's an effort to repeal that. You can check it out in NORML Election Central. Next up is Idaho. And that is a constitutional amendment. This is a constitutional amendment to prevent legalization by voters. This is going before the voters. The legislature decided. The legislature voted and decided that they are the only people in Idaho who should decide if the substance is legalized. Not you. So they put it before the voters as a constitutional amendment. So you get to go vote in Idaho to give up your own rights. You get to vote in Idaho to take the ability to vote on an issue away from yourself. Can you make it make sense? Why would I, as a voter, if I know as a voter, I have the ability to collect signatures for something, put it on the ballot, and so do my neighbors, they can do that too. And then we can all vote on it and decide if we want to do it. Why would I vote to take that right away from myself? Anyhow, Idaho lawmakers think they know better than you do and want to take away your ability to vote on issues. It's the most absurd one of them all. Charmazing, it is in fact sinister. I could not agree more. It's just, ooh. I see someone asking about rescheduling. We can talk about that in a second. I don't want to get sidetracked because that's its own that's its own thing. But yeah, let's keep going through this election central. Nick, you have to tell me more about the February 4th thing. Okay, coming up in Maine, there's an effort underway. This is a ballot initiative campaign. It's currently collecting signatures, and this is intended to largely repeal the state's adult use cannabis market. This is called an act to amend the Cannabis Legalization Act and the Maine Medical Use of Cannabis Act. So this one wants to take away both your adult use and your medical freedoms. Okay, we have an action alert up on this one. So if you are in Maine or if you know someone in Maine, please go to norml.org/election. Scroll down to where it's Maine and click Oppose Maine Legalization Repeal. This way you can tell your lawmakers before this epic hunk of junk even qualifies for the ballot, you can tell your lawmakers you are vehemently opposed to this. Go do that. Same for Massachusetts. In Massachusetts, there's the act called an act to restore a sensible marijuana policy. The word sensible is the dog whistle for you. That's how you know where the funding's coming from, typically. All right, so in Massachusetts, this is about initiative to repeal legalization and to repeal sales and to repeal personal cultivation. So not only would you not be able to go to a licensed, regulated dispensary, you also wouldn't be able to cultivate at home for personal use if this passed in Massachusetts. This ballot initiative has been certified by the state's election division. The petition has been transmitted to the legislature for further consideration. If the lawmakers take no action, the measure will go before voters in Massachusetts on election day this November. So not only did they submit this for approval, they submitted two versions, like take your pick, which you can oppose that right now. And your lawmakers in Massachusetts need to hear from you that this is not what you want, that you don't even want to see this on the ballot. So again, you can go to norml.org/election. You can scroll down to Massachusetts and you can click Oppose Massachusetts Legalization Repeal. Tell your lawmakers in Massachusetts you're not interested in this and you expect better. On Election Central, typically we wait until an initiative qualifies for the ballot, but we felt it was so urgent for people to know that these attacks on your cannabis freedom are underway across the nation that we went ahead and put them up before they even qualified and are adding to them as we go the ability for you to click and tell your lawmakers that you oppose this effort altogether. We have those action alerts up in Election Central for Idaho, Maine, and Massachusetts. We will be adding one for Arizona as well. I'm just waiting on that language so I can add it to the page. And then below that, you will see any good ballot initiatives like the one in Idaho where they are in the process of collecting signatures to put medical cannabis legalization before the voters. We'll add that there as well. It sounds like, Dennis, it sounds like even worse, honestly. Well, I mean, nationwide, Dennis says, sounds like another year of the same thing. You would think things would move faster for this state as it's heavily saturated in medical. Yeah, I think in Pennsylvania, I agree with your sentiment in Pennsylvania. And that's kind of a state where you would think, you know, you're pretty ready. You've been talking about this seriously for a minute. Are we gonna get there in 26? Virginia can't be the only one doing something good in 26. So come on, Pennsylvania. Let's get there together. Oh, okay. Thank you for that info. Some cat on the internet. Now it's all making sense for me. Says Governor Andy Bashir, Lauren's boyfriend. I'm sorry, Mrs. Bashir, and I'm sorry, Mr. Bratcher, but that's just how it is. Uh, Lauren's boyfriend, Governor Andy Bashir in Kentucky, is promising more medical dispensary action. This is about additional licensure, correct? Some cat. Feel free to answer me in the comments, and I'll see it in 10 minutes. Patrick, we've done a number of shows on rescheduling, but I'm going to entertain this. I'm going to entertain this for a moment. Ready? Patrick says this with federal rescheduling. What exactly does that entail? Pause for me to say this. Federal rescheduling has not happened yet. The president has asked the attorney general to resume moving this policy consideration forward. It's not the law today. Okay, so nothing's happened yet. Now, Patrick goes on to say this. I know for everyday people, it really doesn't do much as far as medically and financially. Will states like Georgia, will patients be able to get stronger medicine? No, it doesn't have any impact on that. Then Patrick asks, will banks be able to finally work with legal state dispensaries? And this is the sort of million-dollar question, multi-billion-dollar question, Patrick. And that's where there is arguably the most room for progress at the federal level. If you were asking me under a typical federal government, then we would just answer yes. But we cannot answer that with this administration. The answer is it should. Now, for banking services, really more needs to happen. There are additional measures that need to happen. So could rescheduling allow state licensed operators to take tax deductions? Yes, it should. Should rescheduling allow state licensed operators to more easily access financial services? No, not necessarily. It may incentivize some financial service providers to begin providing services or more services, because remember, a number of them already do. But it would be passage of something like safer banking that would, in reality, facilitate banking access. I hope that answered all of those things. Watch our shows on rescheduling. I will tag that show in the Spotify version of this broadcast. After the show concludes, it gets uploaded to Spotify, and I will often tag other shows that we mentioned, so I'll tag this one. Jeremy, I am looking at your Mississippi comment. No, we don't have any particular activists in Mississippi of whom I am aware. Jeremy says, we are pushing the Department of Health and the state Congress for increasing conditions, a 2-year card, and lifting limitations on the 30% flower and 60% concentrate limits. Great. Jeremy, feel free to send us anything you have on that or you want us to be aware of. You can email it to us at normal@normal.org. It's a real email address, and we all really read it. Make sure we know. We'll get an action alert up on that if the bill is filed. If it's already been filed, great. Hey, Toby, maybe it's already been filed, and we could just look at the. Oh, no. In Mississippi, the only bill we have up on our Take Action Center right now is decrim, HB 196. So keep us posted, Jeremy. Thank you. Hey, Lucy in Indiana NORML. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Zach, the day is treating me. That's what it's doing. Hey Nancy, good to see you. Um, Zach asks, how is the new agricultural bill going to affect seeds? You mean the legislation, the let me rewind. The federal hemp language is what you are referring to. We've got a year on that one, essentially, still to see what actually shakes out. I can't prognosticate on that yet. There's a lot of grift to happen between now and the date those laws would take effect. So let's find out together. But we'll let you know if we know anything extra, anything new, anything fun, anything useful. Hey, Braveheart in Kentucky, good to see you. Let me see. I'm just gonna check in all the comments, make sure I'm missing anything. I think Insulin, first of all, hey, good to see you. Insulin says, has the person responsible for the initiative in Arizona been to Arizona? There are dispensaries everywhere. Good luck putting that back in the bottle. Agreed. But look, if you want to waste your money pushing boulders up hills, okay, great. I guess you have prohibitionist money to burn. Must be neat. Idaho is only good for potatoes. No, we have some people in Idaho that are better than potatoes. I do like potatoes though. Yeah, OG. Grandma, I'm just gonna put your comment up there and while I scroll and people can see that for themselves. I don't want to give them volume. Someone says Idaho is like the North Korea of the West Coast. All right, does anybody, you are killing me. Does anybody have any real questions? Hey, Tom, I'm glad you're here to watch me laugh a lot. Public library user, I hope that's your real name. Is this a daily thing or weekly? So typically I do live with NORML Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern. I don't do it every week. I do it most weeks. If it's a holiday week, it's not happening. We are entering legislative sessions around the country, and I'm very often physically in a state capital. And so generally Fridays are safe because they like to leave early and go home on Fridays. And so then I can still do it, but sometimes it's a problem on Fridays as well. So yeah, Fridays at 4 Eastern. Bye, Brian. Oh, there might be that Supreme Court hearing might be on the 4th, Nick. I thought you meant specific to Pennsylvania. Hey, John in California. Hey, Randy Land. Richard, what about Alabama? Hey, Calvin. I see your comments about Kentucky and specifically HB 199. We have an action alert for 199 up on in our Take Action Center, courtesy of the brilliant minds at Kentucky NORML. Thanks, Matt and Lauren, for the action alert. I am going to drop a link in the comments right now for Kentucky NORML's action alert for HB 199. HB 199 provides a clear constitutional path forward for cannabis policy in Kentucky by placing the decision directly in the hands of voters. What a fun idea. Let me just read you what Kentucky NORML goes on to say in this. Rather than continuing a cycle of legislative gridlock and piecemeal reforms, HB 199 proposes a constitutional amendment that would guarantee adults 21 and older the right to possess, use, purchase, sell, and grow limited amounts of cannabis for personal use without criminal penalties. Just as importantly, the bill preserves the General Assembly's authority to regulate and control the production, processing, and sale of cannabis through future legislation. Great. Everyone in Kentucky, go do this action alert right now. If you don't have the full link, you can just find it at norml.org/act. Click on Kentucky, and there'll be two options for you in Kentucky. There is HB 199, which is this thing we just talked about, and then there is HB 198, which is a decriminalization measure. And yep, just look through. Yep, that action alert is there as well. So let's go, Kentucky. Let's go, my neighbors in Kentucky. Oh. Alabama has 12 dispensaries now. Thank you. Where did that go? Oh, there it is. Thank you, Richard, for sharing this. Richard wants us all to know that Alabama has 12 dispensaries now. Hey, Matt. Matt asks, is there any news on West Virginia laws changing more toward recreational or medical patients being able to grow their own? I don't have any pending legislation yet in West Virginia, but we do have a generic action alert up for West Virginia at the top of the page, and marijuana arrests. So even though there isn't legislation pending yet, you can email your lawmakers. I'm sure Toby can grab that link for you and drop it in the comments. Under states and marijuana arrests, the very top, just beneath the map, is the West Virginia action alert. And of course, if there's legislation introduced related to either of those things that you just asked about, Matt, we will have it right here in our Take Action Center. Sure can. South Carolina Cannabis Coalition. Let's go ahead and read this right now. South Carolina Cannabis Coalition asks if we can mention the 4th annual South Carolina Cannabis Supporters Capitol Rally on Friday, January 30th from 10 to 5. Yes, I can. I can mention that. If you want to go to the South Carolina Cannabis Supporters event at the Capitol, meet at the George Washington statue on the North Capitol steps, facing Gervais and Main Street. Advocates are going to speak at noon, and then the South Carolina Prohibition Protest March around the inner sidewalk of the Capitol begins at 4:20. Oh, hey, South Carolina Cannabis Coalition, can you email me that information? Okay, thanks. Oh, thank you, James, in California, because that was literally the next thing I was going to ask. James says medical cannabis is getting lost with the legal market. Not enough patients have a medical card in California. We see this in state after state where medical markets decrease post-adult use legalization. For many patients, the hurdles of getting certified aren't worth in some states, potential cost savings on tax. And so they don't participate in the medical program and they just buy on the adult use market instead. Okay. You're welcome, Matt. Montgomery County. Richard. Oh no, Alabama. Right. Montgomery, Alabama. That's where you are. Look at this person who I don't care about at all. Goodbye. Okay, friends. Hey, ADHD grower, I see you. Is our new governor going to make it happen in Virginia? Yes, yes. Governor-elect Spanberger, no hash maker 420. It's not pre-recorded. Is Abigail Spanberger going to sign an adult use retail sales measure as governor of Virginia? Yes. She's been very clear about that. Hey, Candid Cannabud, Happy New Year to you as well. Oh, hey, TP on Instagram in Richmond. I hope you can come to the conference in Virginia as well. Oh. Well, first of all, I just like that your name is Ethan Allen. And I'm sorry if that's been the bane of your existence and you hate your parents for giving you that, but I think it's super fun. So you don't know. Okay. Uh, Anyhow, Ethan, hi, thanks for coming to the show and letting me answer your question. Ethan says this. I know that retail isn't official in Virginia yet, but is there somewhere I can go to see what's happening with it? Yes, you've come to the right place. It's here. Ethan goes on to say, I'm very interested in taking advantage of the opportunity to get in on the ground floor, but I'd like to see details about what to expect for entering the market. Great, Ethan. I'm so glad that you are asking this question because we have a whole conference coming up just for this. January 23rd, 4th, and 5th is the Virginia Cannabis Conference in Richmond, Virginia. Look at that. Which hand is it? Is it this hand? Right there is a nice QR. Someone just laughed. This QR code right here. Scan that. That's it. Yeah. Virginia Cannabis Conference. We will be talking about the adult use retail measure in depth, specifically on this Sunday. If you're trying to choose between days to come, you can see the whole agenda for the seminar on the conference website at virginiacannabisconference.com. But yes, we talk about this a lot. I talk a lot about Virginia because I'm in Virginia. So we'll get into that for sure. When's the conference? Hey, Kerbal, that's your name. Kerbal, the conference is January 23rd, 24th, and 25th in Richmond, Virginia. And Lobby Day, Virginia NORML's Lobby Day, is January 26th. Full details for all of it at virginiacannabisconference.com. Hi, all. Hi, all of you too. All right, let's get into some news. Oh, you want me to? Thank you, South Carolina Cannabis Coalition. I'll be looking for your email. All right, let's talk about some news. This news isn't even in the right section, so we'll just get rid of this altogether. Everything's great, friends. How's your day going? Okay, I don't. This script is kind of a hot mess. All right. Maine. Who's in Maine? Anybody here in Maine? Bad news in Maine. Legislation took effect in Maine on January 1st. increasing the cannabis sales tax rate by 30%. Yeah. So in Maine, adult use cannabis was previously taxed at 10%, I think. Yes. It was previously taxed at 10%. And as of January 1st, when the new legislation took effect, it's now 14%. Not the highest in the nation, but still, if you're used to paying 10% and now you're paying 30% more sales tax, that's not good. Doesn't feel good. Certainly not in today's economy. Medical cannabis products in Maine are also taxed, but it's at a lower rate. Maine, also keep in mind, Maine is one of several states, including Maryland, Michigan, and Minnesota, where lawmakers last year voted to increase cannabis taxes. Right now, Michigan's tax increase is being challenged in court. But then remember, in California, they tried this last year as well, and California NORML successfully rolled back marijuana-related taxes in that state. Yeah. You know, it's disappointing when the people you elect to represent you treat you like an ATM and not like a constituent. And that's really what they're doing in so many states. Oh, Ethan, great. I look forward to seeing you there. Yeah, Valerie, that increase it's a big increase to go up 4 points when you're used to paying 10% and now you're paying 14. You're going to see that. You're going to notice. I'm confused what's going on down there. Right. Yeah, Valerie adds, Maryland doesn't tax medical, at least not yet. Virginia doesn't either. Fortunately. Our state doesn't tax medicine, so we don't tax medical cannabis. I did put that in there. There it is. All right, let's go into, let's do a good news story. I think we all like good news. Let me drop that in there. Okay. The Czech Republic legislation took effect on January 1st, I think it was January 1st, that legalized, why won't this open? Come on, internets, don't argue with me today. Too late. Okay, so in the Czech Republic, they had passed a law last year that took effect on January 1st that legalized home cultivation of up to 3 plants, possession of up to 100 grams of cannabis in private, and you can possess up to 25 grams in public in the Czech Republic as of January 1st. So congratulations to our friends in the Czech Republic for your newfound cannabis freedom. Possessing larger quantities of cannabis or engaging in sales is still subject to civil and or criminal penalties in the Czech Republic, but it is one of several European countries that have recently taken action to eliminate marijuana possession penalties. Last year, German lawmakers approved legislation for those 18 and older to possess limited amounts of cannabis, and then Luxembourg and Malta have also enacted similar policies. I think, okay, well, all right, I'm looking at the news. Do you want a quick scan? It's going to be mostly good news that we talk about, which is amazing. I know. Nick, part of your comment got cut off, but I can tell where you were going. Nick says it's depressing when other countries are farther along, isn't it? All right, there is a Second Amendment group out there called the Gun Owners of America. This is a lobby group. And this week they called on federal officials to stop stripping medical cannabis patients of their Second Amendment rights. They tweet, you can see this tweet. I'm going to read you their tweet. It says, breaking. President Trump just ordered that marijuana be reclassified from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3. GOA is calling on ATF to cease treating Americans who are prescribed marijuana as unlawful users of controlled substances and federally prohibited from possessing firearms. So exciting to see some other organization that deals with that specific issue, guns, join us in calling for this repeal, because it's always great when an organization that covers that specific policy works on that policy. Just a pro tip, prescribed isn't the word you want to use. Okay. Anyhow, you can read that story on the NORML website, and hey, if you want to go boost their tweet, have at it. It's in this tweet. I put it right there in there. All right. Well, Nick, you know, in Virginia, we don't have a law that prohibits that combo. All right, we're going to take all that junk off the end. Okay, in Maryland, sweet, sweet Maryland. Paul, we just talked about Idaho at length. There's a medical initiative. Make sure you sign that to help it qualify for the ballot. There's a constitutional amendment in Idaho that's insane. Make sure you send an email to your lawmaker saying this is the dumbest thing you've ever done. You can do that on the NORML website at norml.org/election. Okay, thanks. Let's talk about Maryland now. So for 2 years, NORML worked with Howard County, Maryland firefighters, specifically IAFF Local 2000, to ensure that firefighters in Howard County no longer face sanctions for off-the-clock use of medical cannabis. High five, Paul. This takes effect in a few weeks. I think it's a few weeks. Let me see if it's in here. The new policy takes effect on January 31st. County officials and representatives of the Firefighters Union reached an agreement in December on a revised countywide substance abuse policy, and then again, 31st, so it takes effect. And what else do we have going on? We have 3 more quick stories to get through. 2 of them were great. Hey, Valerie, you're in Maryland. Go high five Howard County for me, okay? There's a clinical trial done. Clinical trial. You know how people love to go, oh, then we can finally do research. This is a clinical trial we're talking about. We do research on cannabis in the United States all day, every day. It's not new or special. It's abundant, and if you knew how to use Google, you would know. Anyhow, friends, you all, of course, know this and know that clinical trials happen all the time on cannabis because we talk about it here. And this one is about topicals, cannabis topicals for patients with breast cancer who, in this clinical trial, it's patients who were going through a very specific type of therapy for breast cancer, and they looked at the efficacy of both CBD dominant and THC dominant topicals. And these are patients, breast cancer patients, who were suffering from aromatase inhibitor induced pain. They were randomly selected to use either the CBD or the THC dominant balms, and the products were provided at no cost by state licensed medical cannabis manufacturer. 86% of clinical trial participants experienced improvements in their pain. These are the patients that were using, oh, no, just 86% of them altogether experienced improvements. And the patients who were using the THC dominant topicals reported the greatest degree of pain relief, which probably is not a surprise to anyone watching this show. But it is nice. You know, we love to report on a clinical trial involving cannabis. And there you have it. Take a look at that one. Canada, again, we have seen this many, many times now from Canada. Canada enacted nationwide adult use legalization. Marijuana is legal in the entire country. You know what they're saying? Oh, there's no increase in youth use. Which is what happens state after state in America. We see the same data in America on a state-by-state basis where youth use does not increase post-legalization. And Canada's saying, hey, we did it in the whole country and we're seeing the same thing. And yet still, I guarantee you, this week, you will hear a prohibitionist say, you can't legalize marijuana. Youth use skyrockets. Even the US government doesn't uphold that belief. Their data don't show that either. But you keep shaking your fists at the sky, kids. Go ahead. There it is. You can read it for yourselves right there. And I did want to give you one last follow-up story that we talked about before the end of the year. Ohio lawmakers who are repealing your cannabis freedoms that you as voters approved. They clearly think they know better than you. In Ohio, lawmakers were like, yeah, this is what the voters approved, but we don't like it. So we are going to change it, even though this is what voters want. And so they did. And then your governor signed it, Ohio. Your governor signed this in December. I think it was the 22nd. Happy holidays. Let's see. This happened in December. Governor Mike DeWine, he's a Republican. Shocking, I know. Signed SB 56 into law, amending and repealing key provisions of the voter-approved legalization law. Makes numerous changes to Ohio's hemp and marijuana laws. Among the more significant changes is that it criminalizes possessing cannabis purchased from another state. Now, are you not supposed to transport marijuana across state lines in the US? Correct, you are not. But no other state says, you know what, marijuana is legal here, but if you got it somewhere else, it's illegal. No other state does that. But Ohio does now. Okay. It also repeals provisions that protect adults, lawful adult use consumers from discrimination in the workplace or disciplinary action, and then the denial of parental rights, and I think that hospital procedures and organ transplants. So all of those protections were in the adult use measure that voters approved, and lawmakers were like, yeah, I don't want you to have those rights. I want to be able to fire you. I want to be able to take your kids away. I want to be able to make sure that you can't have an organ transplant. I want to make sure that you can't have certain procedures at the hospital. So no, we're taking away those rights, even though you approved it as a voter. Why do you keep electing these people who represent you, Ohio? We lobbied really heavily against this, obviously, SB 56. And let's see, 22,555 constituent emails were sent to lawmakers. 22,555 emails went to Ohio lawmakers from their constituents using our platform. There could be other orgs out there that are like, hey, email your lawmakers, or probably people out there that just emailed lawmakers on their own. But just from NORML, we generated over 22,000 constituent emails saying, we don't want this. And your lawmaker said, I don't care, we're passing it anyway. Cool. And that's it. That's the news for this week. Sorry to end on such a bummer, but we're going to talk about a couple more things. I'm going to skim through here and see if you had any more questions. I just checked one Instagram. I'm checking another Instagram. Now we're going to check all of the rest of you all for what you said. All right. Goodness for Canada, says Richard. James says, Canada has done a great job. We are behind them on medical. Canada's doing a pretty good job. Yeah. Matt Clark. Matt, what do you say? Matt says West Virginia is just as bad with electing their officials. No one knows how to do research on them. You know, where it's I want to see. I want to see for a second. Let's check Smoke the Vote together, Matt. I just want to see what kind of information we have in West Virginia. Do you all have anybody running for office anywhere except for Republicans? Because I'm pretty certain that's all you have in West Virginia. Wow. Yeah. Hey, Toby, let's make a note that West Virginia lawmakers need some grading. Because really, there aren't a lot of grades in West Virginia other than some Democrats who've carried legislation. And I can't in good faith say, Matt, take a look at Smoke the Vote and tell people to use that if we don't have enough grades. So you heard it, Matt. Toby and I just had that conversation about getting some grades in there for West Virginia lawmakers, because people do need to be able to see where their lawmakers stand on the issue when they go to vote for them. Hey, Bernie, good to see you. Bernie's asking a question. That's the wrong one. Bernie's, my hand hurts. Bernie's asking a question about Virginia and Air Wellness, which is one of the operators in the state. They are moving forward with build out of their dispensaries. That's what's happening with Air. They're moving forward. I think I'm probably leaning too much and cutting off half my face. That's maybe don't do that, JM. If you go to Michigan and buy marijuana, will you get in trouble? I don't know, Robert. Do you live in Michigan? I think. I'm sorry. You're asking if you're in Ohio and you go to Michigan and you buy cannabis, you'll get in trouble if you are in Ohio with marijuana that you bought in Michigan. Ohio says you're a criminal under their state law if you have Michigan weed in Ohio that you purchased lawfully at a dispensary in Michigan. Yes, Ohio will criminalize you for that. I don't know how they're going to do that, but they've decided they would like to. Okay. Look at that. We did it all, and it's just after 5. Friends, this has been a good time. This has been a good way to kick off the year. Sorry we had to bum you out with Ohio. But we did other great things. And Maine, I guess, too. Let me tell you about some events coming up. Oh, look at that. Toby's going to drop these in the comments for you. You ready? I see you leaning forward, Toby. Care for Georgia, 2026 Medical Marijuana and Decriminalization Advocacy Day. All right, Peachtree NORML shared this with us. Peachtree NORML is participating in this event. It is January 12th in Atlanta. Can you paste that in the comments? No, you can't. It's not working. I will do that. Good thing I looked down to see your little picture. Did I do it all? There it is. I just dropped the link for the Atlanta event with Peachtree NORML in the chat. If you're watching on Instagram, sorry, I can't give you links, but you can find it at care4ga.org. And that's in just a few days, friends. So Monday, that's Monday. All right, coming up far too quickly is the 2026 Virginia Cannabis Conference in Richmond, Virginia. It's January 23rd through 25th. And immediately following that is the 2026 Virginia NORML Lobby Day. You can find out complete details about the conference and Lobby Day at virginiacannabisconference.com. Tickets are available for the conference, and Lobby Day sign up is there as well. Lobby Day is free. Please register in advance so we know you're coming and so Toby can make appointments with you with your lawmakers. Then, oh, thank you. Oh, look, I'm so glad that we put this link here so I didn't forget, because otherwise I would have forgotten to talk about it. Because I put stuff on top of it instead. I'm just going to hold this book right here while I talk about other things. And I'm going to talk about this book. The 2026 Kentucky Cannabis Conference is coming up March 13th and 14th in Louisville. You can find out full details about that from our friends at Kentucky NORML at kynormal.org. And then, oh, I work here. Hold on. Let me put that in the chat for everyone. There it is. Mostly. I am going to do that again. I'm going to put the link in again because it got weird. There's the link again. Okay, and then I want to tell you about this book. First, doesn't it look great? It just looks good. I love how it looks. This book is called Beyond the Buzz, Integrating Cannabis Medicine into Your Health Regimen. It is by Dr. Dawn Adams, who's a cannabis clinician here in Virginia. Love this book. It is available right now. And let me get the link. We're going to fix this for Toby next week so he can do all these great things again. Buy this book at rvatelecare.com, rvatelecare.com. Get Beyond the Buzz. Read this immediately. Add this to your cannabis library. If you're serious about medical cannabis, this book is for you. And look, there's Dawn. There's Dr. Adams right there on the back. She will actually be on a panel at the Virginia Cannabis Conference. Ask a Practitioner. So if you're there and you have questions for cannabis clinicians, come to that panel, get your questions answered. And Dawn's going to do a book signing. Dr. Adams will be doing a book signing there as well. We did it, friends. Hey, Roger, thanks for joining us. I see your comment. And look, that goes for anybody. Roger, I like your comment. I'm going to show it. Roger says, I want the Republicans on notice. I, as an American citizen, cannot support anyone who doesn't support me, not with my vote. Stop the BS or you're going to be out in the cold again. And look, this should be for everyone. Everyone, if you have a libertarian in your area who's terrible on cannabis policy, let them know. If you have a Democrat who sucks on cannabis policy, let them know also that you're not interested in supporting people who don't support you. We try to make that as easy as possible for you, engaged citizen advocates like yourself, by using our Take Action Center, normal.org/act, and you can contact your lawmakers in every state and say, hey, I don't like that bill, don't pass that, or hey, you need to pass this bill instead. And we also have the same resources for your federal lawmakers as well. So check that out. I see you, OG Grandma, coming here at the end for Bratty. I see you doing Bratty's dirty work, but I'll answer it anyway. You're supposed to say kind or type. What's my favorite type of cannabis? My favorite type of cannabis, as OG Grandma knows perfectly well, is legal cannabis. And that's what we do here at NORML. We work every day not only to reform marijuana laws, what we've been doing since 1970, we're also working day and night to protect your rights, the rights of responsible cannabis consumers. And that is the only group that we support in our work. We advocate for the rights of consumers, where we don't represent business interests. We don't have some big moneyed interest getting us to do some special interest only work. We just work for the people, just consumers. That's it. That's who we represent. And I know, especially in today's, the timeline that we're existing in now, which is super fun. And it can feel like fear-mongering or inflammatory to say this, but it's true. Your rights are attack. Your rights are under attack in so many states across the country. And it's NORML that's there fighting for you. It is very often only NORML who is there representing consumers. I can tell you, when I am in cannabis hearings, it is very often just me representing NORML and then multiple entities representing industry. And I don't say this to tell you that there's something wrong with the cannabis industry, right? There's no cannabis industry without consumers, is what I'm saying. And you deserve to be represented first and foremost, because without you, the industry doesn't exist. And that's why legalization happens. It happens to better provide for public and consumer safety, and that means you. That means you and your safety, right? We're going to keep doing this work for you, day in and day out, just like we've been doing for over half a century. I hope you can join us in this work. If you haven't joined NORML yet for 2026, you can head to normal.org, click on any donate button you want. We will make sure that if you donate $42 or more, that you have a NORML membership card. You will absolutely have our gratitude and thanks. And remember that your donation helps us bring you content like this. Maybe you're like, hey, I just donated for the end of the year. I already have my card. Thank you so much. Can you hit that like button on whatever platform you're watching? Can you hit that follow button or that subscribe button? Can you share this? Yeah, help us spread this information to other people like you who need to hear it. And it can be really easy to do that just with a few clicks. And I really appreciate it. Hey, also, if you're on TikTok, I want to go live on TikTok and TikTok will let me go live on my personal platform, but it won't let me my page, but it won't let me go live on NORMLs yet. So can you go to TikTok and find NORML and follow us and engage with us so I can go live there too? Maybe next week I'll just do this show also live on my personal TikTok, but that might invite some follow. Maybe it's fine. We'll find out together. But anyhow, follow NORML over on TikTok also, please. Thank you, James. James says more people need to press that like button. Appreciate you, friend. Hey, Melissa, good to see you. All right, friends. TP, where is the Ask a Clinicians panel? I can't remember if it's on Saturday or Sunday, but it's in the afternoon on one of those days. If you go to the Virginia Cannabis Conference website and click on agenda, you can read the Saturday agenda and the Sunday agenda, and it's one of those afternoons. I just can't remember which one. Rach against the machine. You can email me at normal@normal.org. That's a real email, and I see it, and Paul sees it, and Morgan sees it. I mean, we all see it. So email us there. And Rob, is there any more Virginia news? No, there's nothing. Not yet, but I'm going to tell you as soon as we have something to tell you. All right, friends, this has been fun. I hope you all have a super weekend. Get out there and live your best 2026, friends. I'm JM Pedini. I'm the development director here at NORML. Thanks so much for being with us this afternoon. And as always, I'll see you back here next time. Bye-bye.